How did Louis the Pious deal with Vikings? Have you ever wondered how rulers in the past managed threats like Viking raids? Today, we will look at Louis the Pious, the son of Charlemagne, and his strategies during the Viking incursions in the early 9th century. Louis the Pious ruled the Carolingian Empire at a time when Viking raids were becoming more frequent and intense. Initially, these raids were small and targeted wealthy trading centers and monasteries along the northern coasts. However, as the Viking presence grew, Louis had to take more decisive action. One of his main strategies involved a mix of military defense and diplomacy. He granted land to a Danish sea king named Harald Klak. In return for ruling Frisia as a vassal, Harald was expected to help control Viking raids in the area. This plan aimed to create a buffer zone and utilize local leadership to deter further attacks. However, this strategy had mixed results. While Harald Klak did manage to prevent some raids, he also provided information to Viking navigators. This allowed Dorestad, a major trading center, to be used as a market for Viking plunder. As a result, although some raids were stopped, others shifted to different parts of the Carolingian coast, including the Somme, Seine, Loire, and Rhone rivers. The internal strife within the Carolingian Empire complicated Louis's response to the Viking threat. His sons were competing for power, which diverted resources to civil wars. This internal conflict meant that naval defenses were often neglected. In some cases, rival factions even hired Vikings as mercenaries or allies, further undermining efforts to control the raids. From a broader European history perspective, Louis the Pious's dealings with the Vikings highlight the challenges faced by early medieval rulers. His use of diplomacy and vassalage reflects the practical realities of limited military resources. The increased Viking activity during his reign also foreshadowed the challenges that would later contribute to the fragmentation of the Carolingian Empire. In summary, Louis the Pious attempted to manage Viking threats through military defense and diplomatic alliances. However, internal conflicts and the unpredictable nature of Viking raids limited the effectiveness of these measures. His reign illustrates the complex relationship between external threats and internal instability in early medieval Europe.